Hi everyone. Today's talk is about the warrior class in Shatterheart. Now, warriors have always been a problem um, in Dungeons and Dragons because they're the least magical class, along with the barbarian. No magic at all, um, and they don't have obviously the rage or other abilities of barbarians. So what's the point of warriors? And that is the heart of what is often called the martial caster divide, in that they simply don't stack up in terms of DPS to, particularly at higher levels, to casters. Now, the solution to that from edition 3.0 onwards was multiple attacks, and warriors get more multiple attacks than anybody else. Um, Multiple attacks have been scaled back in 5th edition for certain other classes, but not for warriors. So it's still the primary means of making that balance. But 5 attacks in one turn is ridiculous. Look at all the dice. If you just use average, then the central limit theorem, there's no point in rolling dice. Everything reverts to the mean. Weapon proficiencies, to some extent, to fill the gap, they're a little bit better on the 2024 edition, but they're still silly. The subclasses are silly. Only one really has maneuvers, and then you have a silly, maneuver dice mechanic, which is just points, mana points by another name. It's a mess. Resource management is a mess. Why not? And this is the whole point of Shatterheart. Simply go for an ability system. You buy more abilities, which are specific to the class at higher and higher levels. And you have certain flavoursome skills and abilities, which is the whole point of Shatterheart. The key feature of Shatterheart is it's one roll, so you roll once per turn. Now, if you're rolling once per turn, how do you tackle the martial caster divide? Well, very simply, the higher you roll, the higher above the to strike or to succeed to shoot number, the more chances of getting a critical, because every 5 over, you get crit plus 1. So if you roll 10 over, triple damage. If you roll 10 over, it's a natural 20, then it's quadruple damage, etc. Adds 1 to the degree of success on a natural 20. So this can really rack up the damage. And the other way it does it is through the skill system. Everything in Shatterheart is done through skills, and warriors are the specialists, have better and more weapon skills than any other class. Rangers are comparable with ranged weapons, but for melee weapons, easily the best, even more so than paladins and barbarians, which are the second tier, are the skills masters, so they can have multiple weapons and sometimes swap them out, not making it too easy to swap them out like in some games where you do golf bag effects, sword, great axe. No, that's stupid. You're going to lose an action if you try and swap weapons out, or two. If it's a big hulking great weapon. We try to be moderately simulationist in terms of combat in the Shatterheart system. Okay, that kind of gives a broad background. So let's dive into the playbook for the warrior class. Okay. So they do moderately well on squish points, same as same squish dice as D&D. It's D10, but at first level you gain 5 plus, and also a boost at second level, and then it calms down a bit. Like in the first edition D&D, after at higher levels, you basically progress really slows down, only 3 per level. So you're only really getting, so you don't have ridiculous things like 200 hit point warriors. You have to buy certain abilities such as toughen or epic toughness to get boosts over and above that to your squish dice. So you can use abilities to really specialize. You can specialize in being a tank, or you can specialize in being a damage dealer, or a ranged attack damage dealer, or someone that does tricksy area effect attacks and that kind of thing. It's up to you. They get 2 non-combat skills at trained level, riding and wrangling and athletics, and then a choice of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 skills. You have to choose 2 basic skills from that list there. There are 2 specialist skills that they have. One is Art of War. Art of War is Warcraft, really, and you could use Art of War to plan tactics. The other is Fieldcraft. Fieldcraft is basically field engineering, building fortifications, camps, that kind of thing. So we'll come on to abilities. There's a few specialist abilities that are really due to the specific martial training that warriors have. And because they have martial training, they get a boost of +2 to their bulk and encumbrance. They're used to carrying large backpacks. An interesting one is Born Commander. If you have a chance to scout the battlefield or potential area of combat in advance, then you roll for edge on initiative, and this can be really beneficial if you can combine that with battle routine is a fun one where basically you get pumps, you do press ups, sit ups, and you get +1 TS to your entire session, which will give a real advantage in combat for warriors. Battle Cry allows you, when you have initiative, it gives you +1 in your first turn only. That applies to the whole of the party. It's also a rallying ability. In terms of fighting specialization, warriors, rangers, and barbarians share many of the same potential specialization abilities. There are 1 or 2 that are unique to warriors, but vast majority are shared. It's not these that are the really mark out warriors. Of course, as always with specialization abilities, innate abilities, you can specialize your character. You can specialize as a tank, for example, by taking toughness, epic toughness, and tank, and that will make you very resolute in defense. Or you can specialize in one-handed swordsmanship, swashbuckling, and so on. Agility-based attacks. You can specialize in range combat, absolutely. But as I was saying, it's really the fighting action abilities and some of the leveling up automatic abilities that really mark out warriors, because there are certain abilities there like riposte, and ones that are specialized to different weapons such as sword thrust, which are absolutely unique to warriors, allow you to specialize in one particular type of weapon, and will stack with your weapon proficiencies. For example, if you spend an action point on sword thrust, you attack at edge, which is a huge advantage. So that will double your chances of getting a crit. If we just go briefly through some of the automatic level earned abilities. For example, anticipate moves. You will always roll for initiative at edge. Resolute. At the cost of a stamina point, you can resist damage. Ooh, that's powerful stuff, that is, as a reaction, and so on and so forth. There are two that it will mean that when you're blooded, you get stronger. And one particular fun one at level 17, pincushion. You can be hit by lots of arrows, Boromir style, and keep going. Arrow piercing attacks by ranged weapons are resisted. Finally, at 18, 19, and 20, you get a triptych of blows, which are real fun. Blow from the beginning of creation, the damage dice is automatically at the highest level. Blow from the end of the world, cost of one action point and 3 stamina points. The attack roll is automatically 20, and these can stack. No, they don't stack. You can only have one pre-roll option. Blow from the end of the universe. Once per encounter, it raises the crit level by 1 per stamina point expended. So if you've saved 4 stamina points, you can have crit 4, which is 5 times the damage. So against mega monsters, this is really good stuff. You don't want to tackle a 20th level warrior if they can pull that trick out of the bag. Okay, well, thank you very much. That covers the warrior class, and in the next episode we'll deal with the last class, which is wizard. Thank you very much.